Hey everybody, it's Kevin Glenn here with IHS Property Management, and I'm also board of directors for BROA. Hey, just want to remind everybody, I'm not an attorney, not an accountant, and this video is for informational purposes only. And in this video, we're going to do a short video about Bill 1388. Bill 1388 and House Bill 1389 are both rent control bills, and they are very, very similar. But we're going to talk about House Bill 1388 real quick. And in this bill, it's talking about that a landlord may not seek to rent the unit for excessive rent, which we'll define here in just a second. It's defined in this bill as they do. And you may not charge higher rent for month to month versus lease term contracts. Like some people may go, that's fine if you want to do month to month. Perfect. Well, the rent's going to be X amount higher than what it would be if you signed a lease term. There are people out there, maybe you do it, maybe you don't do it. You agree, you disagree. That's for you to decide. And then the other part of this is that a landlord may not charge higher move-in fees that are greater than equal to 1 month's rent. I know some people, like if you have somebody who's maybe they're on the edge and there's something in their screening that you did, and you're like, let's say that they were lacking some rental history or something. And so you go, okay, perfect, we'll do this, but you're an increased risk, so we're going to increase the damage deposit that we're going to charge you. This bill would limit you. Now then, the other thing that's interesting is all those things I just read off, you're exempt as it describes in section 2 of this bill, and that is defined by the following thing. It says if a tenancy is federally funded property or owned or operated by a public housing authority, like our housing authorities, Kennewick, Pasco housing authorities here, or a tenancy, the property is funded through a housing assistance program, such as I can't verify, but I think that they're probably talking like type voucher type programs, such as VASH, Section 8, those types of programs, CAC, you would be exempt from this. And if your unit is 10 years or newer, then you would also be exempt. So which means everything that I read off about charging excessive rent and doing rent raises, doing more than what's equal to 1 month's rent, charging that, those things, you would be exempt from those. So let's scroll down into this bill further and let's look in where they define excessive rent and what does that really mean and how are they describing this? So down in this section, excessive rent means a rent increase during a 12-month period that is greater than the rate of inflation as measured by the CPI or Consumer Price Index, or 3%, which is ever is greater, up to a maximum of 7% of the existing rent. So in other words, you can only raise it 3%, or if the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, happened to be higher, let's say it was 5%, then you could do 5%, but only up to 7%. So even if the CPI was greater than 7%, let's say it was 9%, which we've seen, you would only be able to go a maximum of 7%, and it'll be published by the state. So again, you decide whether you're pro, con, or other. I'm going to put the links down below to the actual bill. I encourage you to do your own due diligence. I'll also put a link down there on how you can state your position, submit written testimony, try to testify in person. There's a hearing on this bill on January 24th at 4 p.m. You have till an hour up before that hearing starts on January 24th at 4 p.m. So up to 3 o'clock, you can state your position, you can sign up to testify, and then 24 hours after that, you can still submit written testimony. I encourage everybody to voice your opinion. Have a great day.